In this tutorial, we're going to make a house in Maya. So I have made a little sketch. It don't have to be beautiful. In Maya, I have to be in modeling mode. I have chosen the polygon tab right here. I come over here and click on cube and create a box. I'm zooming in by clicking on the F key, and with the scaling tool, the shortcut is R. I'll make the box a bit bigger, but also a bit more flat. And it also has to be a bit more narrow. I want to add something in this end. So I'll come up and say Insert Edge Loop Tool. And then I'll click here and here. Then I right click and say Face. Then it's possible to select faces with the selection tool right over here. I click on this face right here. And then I come up here and say Extrude. I pull it out with the blue arrow. This was the foundation of my house. Next step is to outline the walls. I use the same tool again, the Insert Edge Loop tool. But this time I switch to another view. So I hit the space key, hover over top view, and hit the space key one more time. In this view, I'll outline the walls, clicking here and here, here, and here, and so on. Like this. I click this space bar one more time, hover over the perspective view and hit the space bar one more time. Then I select the selection tool. And then I select all the faces that are going to be the walls. I click on them one by one with the shift key down. That's it. Next step is to come up here and extrude, and then pull up the walls like this. I have to rotate the wall a bit at the top because I want the roof to slope a bit. It is possible to rotate with the extrusion tool, but sometimes it's kidding a bit. But let's see what's happening. it's kidding. It looks crazy, so we have to do it in another way. So I'll undo Command Z or Control Z. So instead I'll come over here and use the traditional rotation tool placed right over here. And then I use a yellow circle to rotate. We have to make a door and some windows too. For that purpose I'll make a box. I'll pull it away from the center point. With the move tool. This box will be used for the window, so it has to fit this hole. So I'll pick the scaling tool. The shortcut is R. Perhaps it's easier to make if I move it a bit closer to the house, so I'll switch to the move tool using the shortcut W. And then again the scale tool. Next step is to get the move tool again. And then I move the box all the way through the wall. Place it like this. Then I'll duplicate the box using the shortcut Command D or Control D, or coming up here and clicking on this point. Now we've got two boxes. I'll pull this one backwards. Next step is to select the house and the box right here with the Shift key, and then come up to Boolean's difference. So this one I can make a hole in the object. Then I have to shape my window. Again, with the scaling tool, I'll make it a bit more narrow, like this. Then I'll duplicate it, Command or Control D. I'll pull this one a bit away. The idea is to use this one for glass and the other one for the window frame. So this one has to be a bit more narrow. I'll just move the glass a bit away to make room. This should be the frame, so I have to change the shape a bit. I right click and select faces, Now it's possible to select faces on this object. So I'll select this face, and then I'll come up and extrude. Then I'll scale my extrusion along the red axis and along the green axis. I'll extrude one more time. This time I can use a G key, because the G key repeats the last thing you did. Now I'm able to push the new extrusion inwards, like this. How long I have to push it is a bit difficult to see from this perspective, so I'll jump to the top view using the spacebar. I'll zoom in, and you see here it's easier to place it correctly. Spacebar again, cursor over perspective view, space key again, and I'm back again. Then I just delete it, rotate, and select the face on the backside, and delete that one too, like this. Now I got the front of the window frame, but there's a hole on the backside all the way around. I have to fix that hole. Here you see the hole. I right click on the object and say Edge. Now I'm allowed to select edges. I select this edge and this edge with the shift key down. And then I come up to Edit Mesh and say Bridge. Then the hole is closed there. I'll do the same over here. This edge and shift select this edge. Up again and say Bridge. The same over here. This time I'll use the shortcut G. G repeats my last action. And G again. Now the window frame is done. Then I just have to move it into the right position. I right click and say Object Mode to select the whole frame. Select the Move tool, and then I move it into the hole. Here we have jumped a bit in time. We have made a couple of doors and some more windows. To make it easier to spot, I'll come up here and click on this icon. Here you see the wireframes. The door is made in the same way as the windows. We would like to be able to open this door like a real door. If you rotate with the rotation tool, you see it's rotating around the middle axis. So we have to move the so-called pivot point, the rotation point. To get the pivot point, I hit the D key, and then with the move tool, I can move the point to the right. And then when it's rotating, Again, I have to pick the rotation tool. It'll look like this, like a real door. We are still missing a roof. So I'll click on the box icon up here. And with the move tool, I'll pull it a bit up to make it visible. Then I'll scale it with the scaling tool. I'll use top view for that. Back again to the perspective view. Makes it a bit more flat, like this. Then I have to rotate it. I'm jumping to the front view. It's easier over here. The move tool moves it a bit down and backwards. I have to rotate it a bit more. I jump back into the perspective view. I would like to add some pillars below the roof out here. I'll use a cylinder tool for that. It's placed right in the middle. With the move tool, I pull it out. Place it about here. And then with the scaling tool, I'll make it fit. Move tool. Scaling tool again. Shortcut R. It has to be a bit thinner and higher. I duplicate it. Command D. Move the second pillar to the left. The house is done. We just have to clean up the math. Coming up here and saying edit. Delete all by type, history. And then one more time, delete all by type, non-deformer history.